afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session with Thomas Edison State University and the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Phillips. I'm the Associate Director of Strategic Partnerships at Thomas Edison State University, and I'm glad to have you with us today. Feel free as you come in and out of the presentation today. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat box or let them be known through Facebook Live, and we can certainly get those questions answered for you at the end of the presentation. With that said, I wanted to go ahead and thank the Morris County Chamber for having us today. We've been proud chamber members for a couple of years now and come up a little further north from Trenton, New Jersey, but it's well worth the trip, and it's been such a pleasure to be able to work with all the folks at the chamber. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started into today's presentation. For those of you who don't know a lot about Thomas Edison State University, we are one of 11 state universities in the state of New Jersey. We have been strictly online to provide flexible learning opportunities for the adult learner. We were founded in 1972 with the mindset for we would be a unique university for the working adults, and we've held that model ever since 1972 proudly. We before the Phoenixes and some of your other online institutions came into play. So we are awfully proud also to be, again, one of 11 state universities in the state of New Jersey, and we hold a regional accreditation through the Middle States Council on Higher Education. It's similar to what you may think of when you think of regional accreditations for those universities such as Penn, NYU, Princeton, Rutgers, to name a few. Those are also in our region. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to move forward in today's presentation. And one of the things that we talk an awful lot about at Thomas Edison is because we are we're strictly an online institution, and we administer all of our courses online. One of the things that we often talk about are coming with the understanding that you have an incredibly demanding schedule. And if nothing else, 2020 has taught us over the past year is that those schedules, just when we thought they couldn't get more demanding, did. And they come to us in a variety of ways. So to be able to provide a flexible learning opportunities in the platform that we offer to all of our partners and to all of our students is incredibly helpful. And it provides a tremendous convenience for folks to be able to get online at any point in time, because you do not need to be in a live class. You just at the beginning of your 12-week term, and we start our terms at the beginning of every single month at the undergraduate level. At the beginning of every term, we give you your syllabus for the term, and you know when everything's going to be due during the course of that term. So you have the ability to be able to go and budget your time accordingly relative to the 1,000 other things you have going on in your life, whether it's work, family, personal volunteer situations, whatever you may be involved in. So we are happy to go ahead and extend that to all of that wonderful stuff to employees of chamber members of the Morris County Chamber. As I mentioned, we are 100% online. One of the things that I think is incredibly advantageous is Thomas Edison offers an already very low in-state and out-of-state rates. We offer our in-state rate is $3.99 per credit, and our out-of-state rate is $5.19. But we do offer a specific corporate rate. Those folks that are coming to us through the chamber receive a corporate rate of $379 per credit, or $1,127 in total for the course. Part of what we have, the model we have done, in addition to taking those courses at Thomas Edison, we also can give you credit for what you've already done. And I think that's one of our most important features at the university. And I think one of the things that when I talk to folks in businesses and corporations is the most appealing, because you may have prior certifications. You may be, for example, you may be a real estate agent. You may have your license. Well, guess what? We've given 3 credits previously for a real estate licensure. So if you come to us and say, hey, I have a real estate license, you might be able to get some credit for that. In addition to various trainings and other certifications that you may have done with your employer, we also will accept up to 114 credits in total from any regionally accredited institution of any variety of them as well. So when you apply to Thomas Edison, you'll go ahead and give us all of the courses you've taken at other institutions previously, along with your $50 application fee. And part of that $50 application fee is the fact that you get an academic evaluation done. So when all those transcripts come in from other institutions, we put them together, package them into your degree plan, and tell you exactly how many more credits you're going to need to take. And then you can work with our one of our many academic advisors to go ahead and plan out your degree from that point forward. What we find is that there's a pretty significant career advancement opportunity for folks that get degrees, right? And education in general. As people obtain their degrees, they tend to move up in their organizations. And we want to help you in that endeavor to be able to help facilitate your career and move it forward as well. As I mentioned, the corporate rate is $379 per credit. There is a $50 application fee coming in. And again, that gets you your initial academic evaluation. And it also you'll receive a tremendous amount of correspondence from various departments that you'll need to interface with at the university to go ahead and get you started and go ahead and get you enrolled in your first course. Again, the partnership includes it's inclusive for active Morris County Chamber member employees. In order to verify that, when you apply under the New Jersey Chamber partnership on our application, it's going to ask you for a code. Well, that code that you will need is CP-MCCC. So that's CP for corporate partner, MCCC for Morris County Chamber of Commerce. So that's pretty simple, but I'll make sure that the chamber has that information. If you're ready to go ahead and apply to Thomas Edison, you'll be able to either reach out to me directly through the contact information at the end of the presentation, or you can reach out to the chamber to go ahead and get that code. Supplying that code is what locks you into the lesser rate so that we're charging you appropriately. Keep in mind that that corporate rate of $379 is in effect for all of our non-nursing partnerships, our non-nursing degrees. I apologize. We have a separate schedule for our nursing degrees, and that would be for just the general in-state and out-of-state for those nursing degrees, but there is no application fee when you go ahead and apply to our School of Nursing. And if there's anybody that has questions about the School of Nursing, we certainly can get that information to you.
Actually, not to interrupt, but to interrupt. If you have questions about the nursing program, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'm Carla Donegan. I manage the Health Professions Partnership, so I can speak to the nursing programs. Sorry.
Thank you, Carla. So we can go ahead and get that information answered for you. And again, I can connect you with my contact information will be at the end of the presentation, and I certainly can connect you with Carla if you do reach out to me at any point in time. Our services at Thomas Edison, what do we offer? A lot of people want to know, what are the departments that generally go in, people that you're going to interface with as part of your academic journey with Thomas Edison. Our Office of Financial Aid, all of our students need to complete the FAFSA form to see if they qualify for any type of aid. And you would work directly with our Office of Financial Aid to go ahead and do that. You would receive notification from them as well upon application. The Office of the University Registrar, I mentioned that academic evaluation, they're responsible for that, responsible for course enrollment. They provide you your final grade that you earn at the end of every course. We have a Student Success Center for our enrolled students. That's a really helpful department in that you'll have the ability to speak with folks on campus, our staff on campus at any point in time to talk about, hey, I want to enroll, for example, I want to enroll in a new course. I want to figure out what I'm going to take next term. You're going to want to reach out to our folks at the Student Success Center to ensure that you're doing that timely, and our Office of Academic Advising will help you decide which course to take and advise you accordingly based on your degree plan. We are a 24/7 operation, even though the university is open for our hours are 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. When we're not in during those hours, we do have a service that you'd be able to call into in those off hours to ask questions or at least leave a message for a specific department when they return to the office the following Monday. So I mentioned about earning credit for what you already know. And I think the ease and flexibility with which we provide this and the ability to be able to do that is a critical element to Thomas Edison. It's really who we are. So Thomas Edison State University has developed what we call a TSTEP because we don't want to say Thomas Edison Credit by Examination Program every single time. So the TSTEP essentially is designed for an individual that might look at a course. So you're looking at the course syllabus, you're looking at the course outcomes, and you're saying, I can do this in my sleep. I've been doing this my whole entire professional life. I don't want to sit through the class for 12 weeks. Well, guess what you can do? You can pay a fee, sit for the examination program, and if you pass it by a point or if you ace it, it doesn't matter. You're going to get your 3 credits for it. So it allows you to go ahead and instead of paying the $11.27 for the course, to be able to say, hey, if it's a 100 or 200 level course, I can pay $50 a credit or $150 sitting fee, or it's $75 a credit for the 300 or 400 level course, the upper level courses, but still it's only $225. So if we offer the TSTEP for the specific course and you go ahead and you take it, and again, if you pass it by a point or you get 100, it doesn't matter. You get those 3 credits and you don't have to be in the class for the 12 months. That's part of, for the 12 months, 12 weeks, sorry, no classes are 12 months, I promise, please take that back. That's part of the flexibility that it does allow you the opportunity to go ahead and get credit for what you already know at a reduced cost beyond the tuition. The other thing that you might be able to do too is you say, hey, look, I know I've done this before. I have a lot of stuff in my portfolio, my background that I can use to demonstrate it. I really just kind of want to work with my instructor one-on-one during the term, and I want to go ahead and put together a portfolio that demonstrates I have that knowledge. Guess what? You can do that. We call it a PLA, Portfolio Prior Learning Assessment. You have the ability to go ahead and craft the portfolio to demonstrate you have prior knowledge. It is graded by one of our mentors, which most people would consider, think about a faculty member, but we call our instructors mentors because they help guide our classes because we don't have in-person instruction or real-time instruction. And so the prior learning assessment portfolio is really a great tool to provide that demonstration. And the great thing about it is say, hey, I've never done a portfolio before. I don't know how that works, right? Well, guess what? We offer courses that you can take that are called, ready for it, PLA 100 for 1 credit and PLA 200 for 2 credits. Oh, 3 credits to learn how to put together a portfolio. So you actually, even though we didn't get original with the title, you actually can go ahead and get credit for learning how to put together a portfolio. In the courses, what they do is they demonstrate in the courses, you have to identify a handful of other courses at Thomas Edison that you could potentially do a prior learning assessment portfolio for. So you may find out that you have a whole bunch of prior knowledge stuck up in here, not the bald part, but in here. You have a whole bunch of prior knowledge that you can put forth in a way that's different than just staying in the class and sitting in the class, right? And then, of course, I mentioned previous licenses, certifications that you might have, prior professional training that you might have done. We have a large portion of our student population is United States military, so we accept a lot of military training, any open courses that people have taken previously with other organizations, other testing programs, similar to the CLEP or similar to the TSTEP as the CLEP and DSST exams. We accept those in transfer. So we have a whole host of different things that Thomas Edison accepts as credit in transfer, which is, again, makes that a lot easier with any amount of prior education that you might have to package together a degree program that can help you get your degree in one of 2 ways. Because I always hear this. I hear this with every person that comes through. How do you want to get your degree? As quickly as possible and as cost effectively as possible. That's really what people want, right? They want to know how they can get it because they're busy. So how can we get it as quickly and effectively as possible and reduce the cost? So all these ways help with that and make that a little bit easier. So I talked a little bit earlier about our nursing program, and Carla mentioned it as well. But one of the other areas that Carla is also responsible for, that our office can really help you with, is our health professions. And this is something, especially in light of 2020 and our healthcare heroes that have just been on the front lines of all this, we are super proud to be able to offer this entire spectrum of health professions in addition to our nursing degrees. And I think that there is tremendous value in what these degrees offer, to be able to help the folks that have been, again, so heroic during the pandemic, to be able to help advance their careers in any capacity. So we're happy to have some further detailed conversations with you about this, but I really wanted to be able to present this to everybody, so that we talk about our schools all the time. Our schools of business, our schools of art, sciences, and technology, our school of public policy, or our school of nursing, or we talk about those all the time, but somewhere in there's not like the school of health professions. So we always like to make sure that the health professions kind of overlap all of our schools, if you will. And I think it's really important to be able to highlight those from time to time, just especially given what we're all going through right now, and the fact that they don't necessarily get the limelight all the time during what we do.
Tom, if you don't mind me mentioning, of course, I'm going to toot my own horn when it comes to the health professions, but for those of you who are listening, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is projecting that employment in healthcare occupations is projected to grow at least 15% in the next 10 years, mostly due to the aging population, but also to healthcare improvements. So if you're looking for a field where there's pretty much guaranteed jobs, healthcare is where you want to look. And thank you for letting me do my little ad.
Carla is very passionate about this, and with good reason. So I'm grateful to have her as my colleague that handles the health professions, because of her passion and her passion for the university as well. So again, I'll give you my information at the end, and if you have interest in those degrees, I'm going to go ahead and give you Carla's contact information. Carla, I should have put your information in, but I'll do that. I'll do that going forward. But you can always reach out to me at the end, and I'll make sure you can talk to Carla. So let's talk next steps. Okay, I think by now there are general ideas to what Thomas Edison is from an institutional perspective, and what we offer and how we offer it. So how do you get started? In like anything else, it's apply. You got to apply, submit all of your courses, licenses, certifications, everything that you've done previously. Now, if I've heard this once, I've heard it a couple thousand times. My credits are too old. My licenses are too old. Oh, I've had them for so long. Thomas Edison does not believe in the term old. We like to think of things maybe a little bit more like seasoned. I'm seasoned in this field, right? So keep in mind, yes, if you took English in 1980, it's the same as English today. If you took computer science in 1980, it's probably going to be a little tougher to give you 3 credits for a general computer science course today. But we really do everything that we can to go ahead and get everything transferred in. So please don't withhold anything when you apply. Identify everything that you've got in your background. It may be a training that you've done. It may be a certification that you've had previously and don't have anymore, but you've done it previously. Give us everything you've got, and then we'll make the determination and do everything that we can to maximize that credit into a degree plan for you. Get enrolled in your first course. What we find so many times is that people apply and, okay, I applied. I did a good job. I applied. And you did do a good job. You did apply, and that's great. But we got to get you started, right? Taking that first jump and getting in that first course is sometimes really tough. Thomas Edison has created a course called SOS 110, Critical Information Literacy. I recommend that as the first course. The course was really designed to go ahead and get people acclimated, get our students acclimated to online learning. and our online learning platform and what they can expect going forward. So it's really been designed to set our students up for future success on the rest of their courses. And it'll give you, it's kind of an entree into everything else that you're going to do during the course of your time at the university. So I recommend that as your first course. It's a good course to get your feet wet with. And then, of course, always schedule an appointment with one of our academic advisors. Get to know an academic advisor. Get to know our academic advisors. Yes, you can schedule appointments with specific academic advisors, or you can just call into the express line that they have if you don't mind talking to any academic advisor, but get to know who they are. Those are the folks that are really going to help planning in. They put the notes in your academic evaluation. You can see your academic evaluation through our student portal in real time. So you'll be able to see the types of things that you've worked with your academic advisors on and how they're impacting and what's planned into your degree plan going forward. So those are your people. I recommend. You can always call us. I'm always happy to talk to you. But your academic advisors are gonna be your friends during your journey at Thomas Edison. So let's recap this a little bit. So the advantages of the Morris County Chamber and the Thomas Edison partnership, I think, extend beyond the reduced rate, the corporate rate. I think the fact that Thomas Edison working closely with your chamber executives to be able to help them, to be able to help target the higher educational and the corporate needs of their members. And I think that that's something we can always look to do. We can always look to customize. If your organization specifically wants to kind of break out and has a very specific need, we can work with you on that as well. So there is the opportunity to be incredibly flexible with how we approach the partnership and in what the Chamber and Thomas Edison together can do to advance you personally with your own growth as well as your organization. So again, our tuition benefits, I mentioned that the $379 per credit versus the $399 for in-state and $519 for out-of-state. Now, what we find is that the $399 per credit, the in-state rate is actually pretty low in general. So to be able to take an additional $60 off per course, if you are an in-state student, even furthers that what I think is already a really good rate that the university does offer for their in-state students. We have a whole host of student services available to you that I covered, from financial aid to the registrar's office to academic advising to our enrolled student services center, our student success center. And Thomas Edison is an incredibly tight-knit community, and we all interact with one another on a very regular basis because we are strictly administrative on our campus in Trenton, or our remote campus out of Trenton now, if you will, until further notice. So like everybody else. So, but we're incredibly close knit. We know who the other people are that would best be able to help you. So always feel free to reach out to any and all if you need us for a variety of reasons. We certainly can direct you to the appropriate people. Obtaining credit for what you already know through the Thomas Edison Credit by Examination Program exams, through the prior learning assessment portfolios that you can develop, through your prior certifications, through prior credit that you've earned at other institutions, from other regionally accredited institutions. There's a whole host of different ways that Thomas Edison accepts credit and transfer. And they're time savers, they're cost savers, but most importantly, they give you credit for the life that you've lived. And I think really that's the most important aspect of it, for us to be able to tap into your knowledge and for you to be rewarded for it. Our new health professions degree offerings that we have, again, we're extremely proud of that. I'm extremely thrilled to have Carla as my colleague to be able to help you with that. And feel free again to reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with Carla. If you are a health organization in and of itself, definitely reach out to me if you're looking for something that we might be able to do for your organization specifically. I'll get you in contact with Carla. You guys can work closely together. Again, this partnership is providing the flexibility for all different types of organizations to work with the chamber and the university to be able to craft meaningful educational opportunities for your organization. Okay. And then, of course, your next steps to Thomas Edison. Of course, you have to apply. That gets you started, and then we want to go ahead and get you enrolled pretty quickly in your first course, so you don't get cold feet. We want to get those feet wet right away. So, and again, we are here to help in any way we can. We have a dedicated landing page to all of our chamber partners. You will see here that this is what the landing page looks like. You'll see the big yellow arrow to the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. This is the link to the chamber itself, but this is the landing page that we have here. And you can request additional info from here. You can apply through here. You see the information for nursing tuition on the left-hand sidebar. You'll see a lot of different pieces of information. How do I, the various degree programs that we have, how do you get started, things of that nature. So you're definitely going to want to take a look at this particular landing page. It is a landing page, again, that we have set up to be able to help anybody coming through any of our chamber partnerships. This is my cheerleader page. But you definitely look, we don't have a sports team, so this is all we've got, right? This is Thomas doesn't have a sports team. That's why nobody knows who we are half the time. So all we've got is this cheerleader page. But look, we have over 60,000 alumni. Our average age of students, 35, 36, depending on the year. And I am one. I have my master's degree from Thomas Edison. This isn't just the cheerleader page, but it's all true. It's factual information. We're ready. When COVID hit a year ago, the rest of the world was trying to figure out how they're going to operationalize doing it remotely, and we had it all set up within a week. Just because of the nature of what we do. We were built for any moment as an institution to be able to help our students and continue. And quite truthfully, it's been seamless. And we hope for our students it's been seamless. And we've done outreach to our students. And if it hasn't been, we've corrected, as any good organization would do. So, but again, we're ready, and we welcome you to be part of the Thomas Edison family. And we're incredibly excited to be able to partner with the Morris County Chamber to be able to make this happen for employees of chamber members and chamber member organizations. And as promised, this is my email. I guess it's kind of a cheerleader carryover page, if you want to, if you will. But please feel free to use this. This is I love my institution. I'm passionate about Thomas Edison. We work with many organizations. I've loved the time that I've spent working with the folks at the Morris County Chamber since the beginning of our partnership, and the people that I've met there and the different businesses and organizations, and want to be able to help in any way that we can to help you promote your organization and help your employees and help you specifically. So please feel free. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Shoot me an email. And again, if you want to talk all things health professions, when you send me the email, I'm going to say, hi, here's Carla. So I'll be more than happy to go ahead and get her in on it as well. So I'm extremely grateful. I know you guys, people have a lot of options to, they have a lot of options to be able to do a variety of different things during the day. And listening to me, if you take the time to do that, is a pretty cool thing, I think, because the last thing a lot of folks want to do these days is get on one more webinar or watch one more video or whatever the case may be. So I'm grateful for the time that all of you took. And
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So for our members that would like to take advantage of this program, do they use the CP-MCCC code as being a chamber member?
Correct. That is your code for your chamber.
Okay, so any of our members use that code?
Correct.
Okay.
Any of your members. Now, I'm saying this out there right now. Basically, we set up the codes for individual chambers so that they basically have to go through the chamber to get to you. So if they saw it here, we know they went through the chamber, right? So the code is, so we track it by chamber too. So the coding, every chamber that we have a partnership with has a specific code to it, and that way I can come back to you guys and say, hey, you know what, we saw 3 or 4 new people apply through the chamber, so that we want to know that they've come through the chamber, because the chamber partnerships are incredibly meaningful to us. So we want to know, hey, who,
Right. No, that's
what
great.
are we doing together to really help chamber members? So yes, CP-MCCC is your code.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if each company had to register with you as a partner.
They do not.
Okay.
They do not. Now, if any of your, for example, like I mentioned earlier, if any of your, say, healthcare members wanted to say, hey, we really want to craft a special program with Thomas Edison very specifically for these healthcare professions, that's different. We can pull them out separately and say, okay, we're going to work with you. Hey, if this organization says we've got a couple thousand employees and we know at least 25 a year probably will come to Thomas Edison and do that, that's something separate. We would want to look at that and customizing some sort of specific partnership for them. But this is more for in general. Anybody who is a chamber member that just wants to go back to school and kind of get started, that's an employee of a chamber member, I should say.
And my children as well, right? So not just chamber employees or chamber members, but also our children and our, right?
If they work for, and I keep in mind that our entry age is coming in the door, the entry age is anywhere from 18 to 21, 18 to 20. 18 to 20 have special circumstances, that different criteria they need to meet in advance of coming in, but 21 is our entry age, coming in the door. So, but they would need to work for a particular chamber member. So I always want to be careful when we start talking about children, because
so it's not family members. It's truly just if you work for a company, the chamber, you can take. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So you may have a corporation that's a chamber member. Any of their employees within that corporation can take classes at Thomas Edison.
Okay. Thank you,
Miss Kaylee.
Yes. Hi. Thank you. Hi. So thank you for this. As someone who almost went to grad school right before getting this position, it's definitely making me tempted again. So thank you.
Oh, sure.
Now, Carla did answer this question privately via chat, but I just wanted to verbalize it because it might be interesting to others. I know as someone who is not great at math, I was looking at applying to grad schools, and the GRE terrified me because, again, all of this algebra, I haven't used it in years, and math is not my forte.
Yes.
So you don't require GRE scores for your master's programs?
We don't. And you get the benefit. And thank you for bringing that up. And it's definitely something I needed to include in the presentation. And I apologize, I omitted it. The rate, the normal rate with the exception of the MBA program and the nursing, and our graduate nursing degrees, it's normally $678 a credit. For graduate degrees, we offer $635 a credit for graduate degree. So as part of the corporate partnership. Now, if you take a degree through the School of Business, we have 6 8-week courses throughout the year. So your term is 8 weeks. Any of the rest of our graduate degrees are quarterly. So they're 12-week quarterly throughout the year.
Okay, no, that's great to know.
3 months. You. And we don't require a GMAT GRE. We don't require anything coming there. I know, trust me. Oh, and by the way, most of our graduate degrees, I have massive test anxiety. It's not my jam. It just completely isn't. Not at all. Everything that I did for my master's degree was written. So it was researched, written, because at the graduate level, we really want you to take your life experience and what you've done and incorporate it to the readings and the research you're going to do, and to be able to kind of develop that professional sense, at a higher level. And in the reading and in the research and the writing, and it does all that. Because that's the vast majority of them you're going to be written. So you're not going to have like your midterm and final. You might have a final project. But yeah, I can get you started. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate that information. Thank you. Because you are absolutely right. I think that life experiences, personally, I always thought that that was a lot more valuable than a test score on a subject that I haven't taken in 10 years and never used in my field. So I appreciate that.
Educational terror be gone. Yeah, we'll take care of it for you. I think there's we knew this before COVID, but there's a lot worse things than, if I'm taking a master's level class, and what I used to do is just get up in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, the normal time I'd get up for work, and the house is quiet for the first 2-3 hours, and I'd knock off a lot of my work during that time before everything else in my house started, and the four-legged creatures started barking and meowing, and everybody's up, and but I did homework in my pajamas. I didn't have to go to class. I didn't have to get ready. It sounded a lot more attractive before COVID. Now when we, people are sitting here and they've got their dress stuff on from the waist up, and they're in shorts and sweatpants from the waist down. Right. Yeah. So that pitch that I used to do sounded a lot more attractive pre-COVID, because now everybody's doing it. So it's not special, but yeah, that's how you get to take your classes.
Absolutely. No, it's still great. It's still great because personally, I preferred online classes when I was doing my bachelor's degree. So that still appeals to me. It'll be nice to be able to, go outside eventually, but doing master's courses in my pajamas is definitely still appealing.
And the great thing about it, giving you the syllabus on the front end for the course, is that if you say something one week is due on Wednesday, and you have work Monday and Tuesday, and then both of those nights you already have other things planned, that means probably Saturday or Sunday of the weekend before, you're going to need to get that done. So there's not really any surprises. We give you the syllabus in advance, so you really know for both the undergraduate and graduate level, so during the course of the term when things are due. So you really are able to have that flexibility to plan out the rest of your life, knowing when things in your course are due and when you have to be on top of it. So, and that's helpful. You don't have to be in class real time either, which is also helpful.
Exactly. No. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Do we have any other questions? It looks like we got everything shared. Folks on Facebook Live, any questions, Kaylee?
No, but I did put the contact information and the link to www.tesu.edu/chambers in the comments as well. So Perfect. Make sure to go to that website for more information, and the email address is here on the Zoom meeting as well as in the Facebook Live comments.
Awesome. Well, thank you all again for taking the time today. Thank you if you're watching this at a later date on the YouTube channel. Thanks for taking the time to hop on that YouTube video. It's nice to know that it'll be on the YouTube video, although I'm not telling my mother because she'll send it to everybody and that just won't work. But I love the fact that the chamber takes it. Yeah, it won't work for me. It's going to work great for her. But I love the fact that your chamber really puts it on the YouTube channel, does Facebook Live, that you have that level of innovation, because that's who we are as an organization. We love that level of innovation. We utilize innovation like that in everything that we do. So when we have the opportunity to get out there and do Facebook Live and be on the YouTube channel, although I generally prefer somebody else's mug being the one out there doing it, it's still really cool. And I'm grateful to you guys at the chamber for having such a phenomenal approach to how we you communicate with your members, and I'm glad to be part of it today. So thank you all, and thank you all out there in cyber world, and everybody be safe and healthy, and hopefully we can get through the next few months and get back to summer again and be near one another real time. So I look forward to all that. So.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words. I agree. It is fabulous to work with other organizations that do digital innovation such as this one. So it is great to have Thomas Edison State University's information available for chamber members like this. So thank you again to everyone watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out our website at morrischamber.org .org. I almost said edu.
Yeah.
So you're already in school. It's great.
I am in school mode now. Make sure to check out our event calendar to see what's coming up for the rest of the month. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.
Thanks, Kay.
Thank you, everyone.